This
will be
conference
covering.
will now be recorded.
Yeah, let me take you through the content what we'll be covering for the next 25 or 26 sessions. Okay, the first, I'll not go through all of these content because we have already discussed in one of the demo sessions. Okay, so the first 4 sessions would be completely of theoretical part, like we'll be discussing on topics like why success factors, what is the role of a survey, some professional consultant, SF consultant, what would be our responsibility, roles and responsibilities after joining any organization, how do we implement success factors, what is release management, how to do certification, what is partner edge, what is community.successfactors.com, what is release management. So we'll see all of this information in the first 4 sessions, which is very useful for you now when you join any organization. It would be easy for you to understand the terms and the terminology, like somebody gives you a task of go and check the for latest release functionalities or latest release features. You should have an idea where to go, how to check these functionalities. Or if somebody asks you if you have done your certification, or somebody asks you what comes in certification, you should aware all of these things. Okay, so we'll be discussing these things in the first 4 sessions, and starting from the 5th session, which is purely, or we'll get into configuration, we'll log into the system and see the everything practically. So we'll have sessions on the weekdays, Monday till Friday. Saturdays and Sundays I'll not take sessions. If required, I can take on Saturdays as well if required. Okay. So to start with, we'll be starting off with the first topic for today, which is the role of a professional SF consultant, or roles and responsibilities of a SF consultant. If you have any questions, clarifications, feel free to stop me. You can interrupt me. You don't have to wait till end of the session. Anytime, anywhere if you feel you need so more information or you need some clarification, you can stop me. Okay, so I have a hard stop today at 8 p.m. So we'll be closing out a bit early, like 7:58 or 7:59. Okay, because I have another call at 8 p.m. Okay, so the screen what you see is SuccessFactors landing page or the home page, which is this is called the new or the latest home page in SuccessFactors. Okay, so we'll get into your topic, which is role and responsibilities. Anybody would like to tell what are our roles and responsibilities as a SF consultant? Now, all of us, once we learn success factors, we'll be joining one of the organizations as a SF consultant. So what will be our responsibilities? What will we do in the organization? Any idea? No?
Hello, sir. This is Muzammil. Okay,
Yeah.
sir. I am doing this SF because this is the advanced version of SAP HR. Correct?
Yes. Yes. So this is
So
advanced version of
SAP
SAP HR.
HR,
Hmm.
SAP HCM.
Hmm.
So I have an experience of 5+ years for SAP HCM right now, and now moving to SF.
Yeah.
Basically, this will be for all the HR activities, recruitment, hiring, organization structure, employee data related.
Yeah. You are correct. So now in SAP HR or any other applications, we have different roles in those applications, like a functional consultant who would be configuring the system, a technical consultant who would be developing the new functionalities or new features, basis consultant who would be setting up the system, GRC consultant who would be setting up the roles, setting up the permissions, and then you have the workflow consultant who will be setting up your approvals part. So we will have these different roles in any of the HR applications. Okay, which are on premise, or maybe some of them are the cloud applications as well. But here in SuccessFactors, we don't have these many roles. We don't have roles like technical consultant or workflow consultant or the GRC consultant and so on. We only have one role called a SuccessFactors functional consultant or SuccessFactors consultant. So all of these activities, does that mean that we cannot do any customizations, or we cannot configure approvals, or we cannot set up the system? No. So all of these activities are done by SuccessFactors consultant. So we set up the instance or systems, we configure the workflows, we customize the product, and we configure the entire application as a consultant. Okay, so that's our responsibility. Now, we have two types of projects here. One is the implementation, and second is the support. So the very good thing about SuccessFactors is every customer who uses SuccessFactors as their HCM application, they should have the support consultants working with them. Should always have the support consultants working with them even after the implementation. Now, what is implementation? What do we do in implementation? Who is a consultant? Who is a customer? Now, what is implementation? That we'll see. Okay, so what is implementation? Any idea?
Making system ready for users.
Configuring system as per customer's need.
Client requirement.
Okay, now customer or client. Now, who is the client? Or what do you mean by customer?
Business users.
Client, customer, business users. Who are business users? Now, all of these are the end users who are going to use the system. End users who are going to use the system. Okay, now end users meaning, now if I am an employee of, let's say I'm working for one of the organization. Now, as an employee, I should see my data somewhere. Okay, so if I have an employee self-service where I log in, I see my data. If there is any data which is pending or which is to be updated, I should be able to update. Like, I should see my personal information, I should see my address details, I should see my contact details, I should see my job information or employment information, like when did I join the organization, when did I get transferred, or when did I get promoted, or no, if I have taken any leave, or if I have to take any leave, so how do I apply leave, or how to download my payslip, how to look at my compensation details, or how to look at my salary details. If there are any appraisals or the objectives which I have to fill, I should be able to do. So as an employee, these are all the activities that I'll be doing in the system. So I'll be doing all of this in the employee self-service, which is the SuccessFactors. Now, we also have different roles like a manager. Manager is also an employee in the organization. So manager will do all of these activities what an employee is doing. Apart from these activities, manager will have to do some additional activities like approving their direct reports data, initiating some actions on their employees, maybe transferring of their employees or promoting their employees. So this is the job of a manager. So manager will be logging into SuccessFactors application. Now in SAP or in other applications, we call it as ESS or MSS. Okay, now here the application, everybody will be logging into the same application, but depending on the role that they are in, they will get to see a different functionalities. Now, when a HR logs into the system, HR is also an employee. If HR has got a direct report HR manager, now he or she will also have to do the activities like looking after their employees, or any activities that are to be, or any pending tasks that are to be done for their employees. HR manager will be looking after that. Apart from this, HR manager will have to or HR people have to hire employees, they have to transfer employees, they have to promote employees, they have to make salary changes, they have to update the employee data. So all of these activities are done by a HR in the organization. So all of these are the end users, and these end users would be using the SuccessFactors application. Now, this SuccessFactors application, we will be configuring for them. Now, different companies or different organizations have got different requirements. Not every company's requirement is same. Now, some organization or some company, they say that we want to have 4 levels of approvals while transferring an employee. We want to have 10 levels of approval when promoting an employee, or we want 2 levels of approvals when terminating an employee. So some will say 2 levels, some will say 3 levels, some will say I don't want any approvals at all. Some will say no, I want to have a different process. So all of these things are to be configured. Now, as a consultant, we have to go get the requirement from the customer, requirement from the end users, how they want to use, what they want to use. SuccessFactors is an inbuilt application where you have all these setups. Like you can go create a department, you can go create a location, you can go, you maintain the employee data, it will show up the employee data. So it gives some functionalities in the system, and additionally, if there are any new requirements, like if you look at the employee profile in SuccessFactors application, there are a lot of sections or a lot of portlets or blocks where you store the employee information. Now, some of this information is standard, and you can also have some custom fields or custom portlets configured in the system. Now, if I open any employee profile, this is the picture of the employee. So system allows you to have a picture of the employee. You can upload the profile picture of the employee. You can have a different background. Every employee can upload their own background, or we can default some picture for everyone. System gives you some information here. This is called quick card, where it shows up some basic information. Again, these can be configured. What do you want to show? I want to show name of the employee, location of the employee, the department in which the employee works, and the hire date of the employee, manager of the employee. So you show some basic information here. Apart from this, we can see all other information about the employee. It could be biographical information, ID information, contact information, address details, dependents, bank details, work permit information. So you'll see all of this information. Now, most of these fields, what you see are the standard fields like first name, last name, middle name, salutation. All of these are by default available for every customer. And some customers may say that we don't want to use all of these fields. We don't want to maintain all of them. So we can hide these fields. That's what we do in configuration. Some customers may say that now we need some additional fields into personal information. We want to have date of birth also, or we want to have blood group also captured in personal information. So you can add this custom information into this portlet. This is called a portlet or a block. We can add those details. So you need to understand your customer's requirement and configure the system as per your customer needs. So you similarly, any portlet you take. Now this one, if you see, these are the standard fields. These are custom fields which we have configured. Age, system doesn't give you age of the employee, but we can configure age. We can populate age of the employee. Every employee you go, you will see the employee's age here. It is age in years, month and date. So this is a custom requirement. These are the standard fields what SuccessFactors gives. Now for employee, they doesn't know what is a standard field or what is a custom field, what is available and what is not available. They'll just give their requirement saying that we need this in the system, and we'll have to configure. You should tell them what is available in the system and what can be customized or what can be configured in the system additionally. So that's our role. That's what we do in the implementation. Now, sometimes we may have to configure a custom block, completely a custom block. Now, this is a custom block. You can add the custom block where you can add any type of fields here. You see, you can add start date, end date, some fields here, some date fields here, some custom fields or custom portlets into the system. If the existing fields or existing portlets are not sufficient, we can also configure or we can also add some custom fields. That's what we do in the implementation. Implementation starts from interacting with the customer, understanding their requirements, and configuring the system, test the system, and hand it over to your customer. That's your implementation. Once implementation is completed, we'll have to support the customer. The good thing in SuccessFactors is every customer who uses SuccessFactors, support team should be supporting them. Now, what do we do in support? In support, once the system is implemented, they may need, if they need any additional features to be incorporated or additional features to be configured in the system. Now, initially, they've gone approval process only for transfer. Now they want to have the similar process for promotion as well. So we'll have to configure that in the system. Now they have identified some issue there, while hiring or while doing some action in the system, they're facing some issues. So they'll create a ticket and we have to go fix that issue. We see, analyze the issue and fix that issue in the system. That's what we do in support. Support, generally we do the change management where we implement the changes. New functionalities are to be incorporated or new features are to be implemented, or any changes in any change in the process that is to be updated, we'll do that change in the change management. We also have release management. So every 6 months, SuccessFactors updates the product. So as a consultant, you have to go through those new release features and see what is to be done in the system. So that's our responsibility. Change management, release management, and if you have any ticketing tool, fixing of issues. Okay, so this you'll be doing in the support. Now we know who is a client and we know who is a consultant. So will we be working for a consultant? For a client? No, we'll be working for a implementation partner. If you're working for a customer, you becomes employee of the customer. Okay, you will be hired by the implementation partner. Now, who is implementation partner? Any organization who are authorized or who are licensed, who have license to implement SuccessFactors for the customers. SuccessFactors is a SAP product, and SAP cannot implement SuccessFactors for every customer across the globe. They cannot implement SuccessFactors for every customer across the globe. Instead, they give license to the organizations, license to the partners who would be implementing SuccessFactors. Examples can be your Deloitte, IBM, Wipro, Cognizant, Capgemini. So these are all the implementation partners. These are authorized organizations who can implement SuccessFactors for the customers. Now, if I own an organization, let's say I've opened my own startup. Okay, I cannot go and implement. If I have some consultants who are working in my organization, I cannot go and implement SuccessFactors for a customer, for any customer. No. Firstly, I should go take a license from SAP to implement their product, SuccessFactors. It is similar to your McDonald's or KFC. Not everybody can sell KFC products or McDonald's products. You need to take a franchisee. first. You cannot sell, you don't see KFC products or a McDonald's products in any supermarkets. No, you're not authorized to sell them because you don't have any franchises. So there are some policies which you have to adhere when you are taking a franchise. Similarly, SuccessFactors also, you need to have a license to implement SuccessFactors for your customer. And the implementation partner will be hiring the consultants. And these consultants will be implementing or supporting the customers. We call it fixing the issues, or this is called incident management, where customers create an incident and you'll have to fix that. It could be a query, it could be an issue, or it could be some knowledge gap. Okay, so these are our roles and responsibilities as a consultant. Any doubts here?
No, sir.
Okay. Others? Before moving to other topic?
No, Ben.
Okay.
No, not.
Yeah. Next topic for today is a system landscape. How many of you know what is a system landscape?
System landscape is like from where to where the data is flowing.
The arrangement of systems in a sequence. Now, when you implement SuccessFactors for your customer, the basic setup is the SuccessFactor recommended setup is development, quality, and production. This is the minimum, or this is the setup that SuccessFactors recommends every customer. Now, when you implement SuccessFactors for your customer, you always start your configuration in the development system. Now, only the consultants will be logging in here. Only consultants. And we configure the system here. You'll do a number of configurations in the development system. Let's say your customer has given some requirement. You're not sure whether you can achieve this process in system or not. So you do some R&D, or you do analyze and see whether it is possible in the system or not, whether it is working fine or not. So you may do hundreds of configurations in the system, in the development system. And now after doing all of this configuration, you first see whether it is working fine or not. At least now when you enable some field, whether that field is showing up in the front end or not, whether that field is allowing some text into it or not, whether that field is has got some restrictions or not. So you just test that, and that test is called the unit testing. So you will also do here unit testing. And once you feel the configuration is completed, you move all of your configuration to quality. Again, the consultants will log into quality. And here you will be doing the entire testing. Here you have done only the unit testing. Unit testing means whether the process configured is showing up or not. You will not test the in-depth system here, but you will be testing the in-depth test, doing the in-depth testing in the quality system. And some may call it a test system. Okay, along with the consultants, you will also have some end users who would be logging into quality system to test the system. They will also be doing the testing. And this testing is called user acceptance testing. The testing what the end users do is user acceptance testing. So they will have to test the entire process, what we have configured in the system. And this is called UAT. Now, once they confirm that the configurations are working fine, now here they may come up with many changes. We'll look at how they do the user acceptance testing, what is to be tested, how many iterations or how many phases we do this. That we'll see separately. Okay, in-depth details we'll see at the later point, for maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow session. They'll be doing here UAT. Once they complete the UAT, once they give the sign off saying that yes, these are the configurations or these are the processes which are working fine in the system and we are good to go, we move the configuration to production system. And here all the end users would be logging in. We cannot do any kind of testing in production system. We don't do any testing in production system because this is the live system where you have the actual data of all the end users. If your customer has got 10,000 users in their organization, we'll have to maintain all the 10,000 users data in production system. Here in the quality system, you can have only 1,000 employees or only 500 employees or only 2,000 employees. And you can have dummy employees, you can have dummy data, because you'd be testing a lot of or number of scenarios. What happens if you don't maintain this? What happens if you maintain this? Now, do we have any validations, whether the validations are working fine or not, whether the system is allowing all kinds of data input or not? So you'll be testing all of those things in the quality system. But here in the production system, you will not do any kind of testing. Yeah, go ahead.
Nitin here. Actually, I'm asking about here is only UAT testing, or also we require SIT testing for this, no? When before to move into the production, if that integration is related to the other kind of
even the
other
integration.
model.
Yes, even the integration testing is also done here. Now, if your SuccessFactors application is integrated with some other third-party applications or some other applications, like let's say all the master data is to be maintained in SuccessFactors, and this data has to go to SAP for payroll process or for some other modules. So you will be doing the integration testing as well in quality system. Okay. And then production. Now, this is what SuccessFactors recommends every customer. Minimum of 3. Now, every customer who want to go with SuccessFactors, they will see these 3 systems. And some customers may also ask for additional systems like pre-production or test system as a separate system or projects as a separate system. Now, you can name it with any name. Name can be anything. You want to call it as pre-production, or you want to call it as a project, or you want to call it as test system. You can call it anything. But there is no limit. Now, any customer can go with any number of systems. This is the minimum requirement for all the customers, and any additional systems can also be configured. But when defining the landscape, you should define which one is the source and which one is the target. Usually, you do your configuration in development, which is your source system, and you will be moving your configurations from dev to quality, which is your target system. Once testing is completed, you will be moving your configurations from quality to production system. So quality is your source and production is your target. And you have pre-production system. Let's say your client customer has also got pre-production. So you'll be moving data from pre-production, from production to pre-production. So here source is pre-production and target is pre-production. So you will have to pair these systems. You have to pair the systems. Dev, quality.
Yes, I have one question, sir. Here, when you are configuring development, so they are having a TR request is generated, or what it is?
Yeah, generally in SAP, we follow these transportations. Right.
Okay.
So every time you do a configuration, you create a transportation ticket, or you'll have a number and all of your configuration is saved to that transport request. Okay, but in SAP, in SuccessFactors, we don't have the concept of transportation or transport request. Now, all of these configurations, what we do in development, can be moved to quality either by imports, or we have something called instance synchronization.
Yeah.
You have something called instance synchronization. Now, for this, you need, now imports can be done from any system to any system. From dev to quality or dev to production, you just export the data, that is extract the data from the source system and upload into the target system. Now you can upload it into any system there. But when you do the configuration sync through instance synchronization, you will have to pair the systems. Pairing meaning you will define the source and target system. What is the source system and what is the target system? You have to pair. Now, once you pair the source and the target system, you can move configurations only from source to target. If dev is a source and QA is a target, then you can move your configurations only from dev to quality. QA is a source and production is a target. So you can move configurations from quality to production, not from production to quality. So we use instance synchronization. Now, when doing the instance synchronization, you can move all of your configurations at a time, or you can also move them into different batches. Okay, now any configuration you feel that yes, this can be moved, you don't have any dependencies, you can move those configurations. So how do we know what configurations are to be moved? Now, while synchronizing the data, system will give you option which data you want to synchronize. All the data that so and so user has created or configured, you can select by user. All the data which was configured after so and so date, that can be configured, or all the objects that were created or that were updated, so those can also be moved. Clear? Any doubts here on the system landscape and synchronization?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Others who see, SAP, having SAP HCM knowledge is no added advantage for you because you know the process. Okay, process of HCM. But it is not mandatory that everybody should know SAP HCM to learn SuccessFactors. No, it
Sir,
is
I have a
dependent
little
application.
experience. I have a little experience in SuccessFactors also, but
Hmm.
there I have to work directly on production. So that is quite challenging for me. For Dubai project I've handled over there for 6 months.
Yeah. So if you're working on only the production system, if you have an issue, so how do you fix that issue? You cannot directly go and just fix that issue. Now, why do we have this landscape is, so if you have some issue in production system, we cannot directly go and change the configuration in real time for any of the projects. We don't do any changes in the configuration without approval from your customer. So what we are doing here in UAT is you're taking the concern from your customer saying that this is working fine, you can move it to production. Now you'll find a number of issues in production, even after moving the configuration, even after doing hundreds of testing, moving it to production. In some real-time scenarios, you'll get some issues. So you'll not be changing the configuration directly in production system. Always you have to replicate that issue. Now, if customer has come up saying that no, we are facing issue while hiring employee. So what is that you're doing, and what is why is system giving you error? So that you have to replicate either in quality system, test system, or pre-production system, whichever system that customer has got. You replicate that issue, you analyze what is that issue, and you fix that in the test system before moving it to production. Now, there might be impact on the other process, the configuration change what you are doing. Maybe it is related to some other configuration also. Maybe that is impacting. So you have to do the complete testing again if you are changing the configuration. Then you go, once it is fixed, once your customer has approved, you go update it in the production. Now, things like there is a change in the approver. Yes, you can directly do it in the production system. There you don't have to wait or to do it in the pre-production or the test system. It is fine if you have a testing document, or if you want to do it in the test system first, it is fine. But if it is urgency to update in the system, you can directly do it in the production system. There are few things which you can directly do. That's why
Some
in the
things are
real,
tested. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some issues are tested in testing only, quality, and then they are directly moved into the production. There is no synchronization and all. That is the quite of issue over there.
yes,
So after the
yes,
testing, I have to directly do the changes in production also.
okay. So now here you can also have manual config again. Now
Okay.
you can do manual configuration in the target system, or you can download and import. Some of these configurations can be extracted from the source system and uploaded in the target system, or you can also use instant synchronization. Now sometimes if the fix is a minor fix, just going and changing some value or some some configuration, which is very simple one or simple step, you don't need to go to instant synchronization, which takes time. When you have bulk data, or you have a complex configuration which you don't want to miss the the tested process, you can move the configuration through instant synchronization or import. There is no hard stop or hard rules that you have to always use instant synchronization. No, either you can use manual configuration, or you can import, or you can do the synchronization as well. Usually when you are doing any implementation, because you'll be doing hundreds of configuration, hundreds of steps in the configuration, it is very difficult to do the entire steps manually into the target system. We do it through instant synchronization. Okay, it may take 1 or 2 days or 3 days for doing the configuration. Okay, even after doing the configuration manually, you'll have a fear that whether you have configured it correctly or not. Even sometimes what happens is a simple condition, like instead of is equal to, if you have put is not equal to, the entire process won't work. The simple steps will change the configuration. So that's why you'll be moving the configurations, the bulk configurations, using instant synchronization. Clear?
Clear.
Okay, we'll look at the instant synchronization in the coming classes as well. When you actually when you do the configuration in the system, we'll see how to move the configuration from source system to target system. In the demo systems, it is not possible to or do the entire process of instant synchronization. But if you have multiple demo systems, then yes, we can also move the configuration from one system to the other system. Okay. Any other doubts here in system landscape or instant synchronization?
Benu, I have a doubt. Like in SAP, we will be means security team will be moving the transport, right? Here
Yeah.
in SuccessFactors, there will be different team, or
No.
ourselves
So
as a consultant?
that's what I said. Here you will not have any different consultant. We only have one consultant who would be doing the entire setup, configuration, testing, your customizations, workflows. All of this is done by, even the permissions or the basic setup is done by SF consultant. The transportation also, the instant synchronization also we will be doing. Okay, that's part of, yeah, that's part of our role. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. Next is the types of systems. We have in SuccessFactors, we have two types of systems. First is the provisioning system, and second is your instance. Provisioning is like a backend. Instance is your front end. Provisioning, only certified consultants can log into provisioning. Any consultants can log into instance. Consultants, admins, end users, anybody can log into instance. If you have credentials set, you can log into instance. But provisioning, only certified consultant. So that is the reason the first thing in your interviews, people ask you whether you are certified or not. If you are certified consultant, you will get provisioning access. Now, what do we do in provisioning? We will be only doing the 5% of configuration or the entire configuration in provisioning system. And the balance or the rest of the 95% configuration, you will be doing it in the instance. But for doing this 95% of configuration, you need this 5% of configuration. Without having this 5%, you cannot do this 95%. So you should always have a certification to implement SuccessFactors for your customer. You may not need certification for support projects. May not need. You need certification for the support also. You rarely use your certification or provisioning access. Once in a year or twice in a year, you'll be logging into provisioning. But implementation, you will have to do the setup in provisioning and then go back and do the rest of the setup in the instance. So anybody can log into instance. Even the consultants or admins or users, end users, everybody will log into the instance. And this provisioning access, now this is one of the reasons why customers cannot implement SuccessFactors themselves. Now, only the certified consultants, and if they are associated with the implementation partner. Let's say Venu is a certified consultant, but I'm not associated with any implementation partner. So can I implement for any customer? Can I do freelancing and do the implementation? You can do support, but not implementation, because you should be associated with the partner, one of the partner, to log into provisioning. If you are not associated with the implementation partner, you will not get provisioning access. If somebody has to be there to do the provisioning setup. The rest of the instance setup, if it is only the instance setup, then you can go configure this. That is why customers go with the implementation partners for their implementations and support as well. Clear? And types of system, any doubts here? So you will be given access to only the instance. Even in our regular sessions, I'll be showing the provisioning setup as well. What we do in the provisioning, what we enable. No, it is only enabling the required services. You'll have the check boxes, like you'll have to check or uncheck. What do you want to use? Within Employee Central, you have a lot of features like position management, you have workflows, you have business rules, you have dependent management, you have for IT declaration. So all of these are to be enabled if you want to configure it in the instance. So you'll be logging into provisioning and enabling these services. Yeah. Questions, clarifications? Yes, no?
It's clear, Well.
Yeah. See, please do not hesitate. Even if I have explained, you can still ask me questions. If you want me to repeat something, I'll do it for you. Don't worry about others. Okay. Because you're spending a lot of time, you're spending a lot of money. So try to learn as much as you can. Okay. Same with the practical part. So every day we'll be doing 1 hour of practical sessions. I would recommend all of you to spend minimum of 1 hour every day on the system. You practice well, you get to know a lot of things. You don't practice, you'll not get any doubts. No, there's no point in spending so much of time and money.
Sir, I have one
So,
question.
yeah.
Hello.
Go ahead, Nitin.
Sir,
Go ahead, Nitin.
Nitin here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm expecting that we are getting all documentation required to the end-to-end level for Employee Central or what? Whatever the preparation, BBP preparation which you are doing in SAP HR, that's the same
Mhm.
scenario which is happening over here in SuccessFactors also. So that all kind of documentation also you are going to give us to start the practice or all when our session will be completed then after.
Yes, I'll be sharing you all the required material with you. You can go through that. So out of all of these documents, we have a lot of PPTs, we have a lot of PDFs, and we have Excel or Word documents. Out of all of
Okay.
these documents, implementation guide of Employee Central is the main document which you should be referring. All your questions related to certification or all your configurations which you will be doing when you do implementation or support are clearly explained in implementation guide. Again, this implementation guide every 6 months SuccessFactors would be updating the guide as well. So whatever changes that comes in, whatever improvements that they have done, or whatever new features that they have incorporated, so they will include that in the document, and I'll be giving you the latest implementation guide, which explains you wherever possible. They give you the screenshots, and so for each and every step they'll give you the navigation, where to navigate, what are the fields available, and what happens if you don't maintain a field, or know how to make changes to those fields. So all of these are clearly explained in the implementation guide. It
Okay.
is like 300 to 400 pages of document. If you refer this implementation guide, that's more than enough for your
Okay.
implementation or support or for your certification as well. For certification also, 80% of all of your questions will be coming from the same implementation guide. Balance
Okay.
20% of the questions are like scenario based questions. What if your customer asks you this one, how you're going to configure? Okay, so
Okay.
scenario based
Okay.
questions you'll find up to 20%. Again, if you are
Yeah.
thorough with the implementation guide, you can also answer them.
Yeah. Okay. I got it. Sir, one more question I have.
Yeah,
What is
go
the
ahead.
then Delta examination? Delta examination is there after certification. What is
I-
that?
I'll be I'll be giving you the complete information on the certification, learning hub. All of these are covered in the coming
Okay.
sessions.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Today we'll not discuss on the certification because it takes 10 to 15 minutes to explain about certification. A way to
Okay,
do
sir. Okay.
what comes in certification, how to pass the certification. I'll give you all those details.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, and our material also contains the sample of question paper. You can go through that. Okay, others? Anusha, Ashwani. Jivita, Lakshman. Vijay, Vikram.
As of now, it's clear. Please.
Yeah, it is very difficult for me to remember all of your names for the first few sessions. Please bear with me. Okay. If you are unable to talk, you can also post your questions over chat. Okay. When doing the configuration in the system, if you get stuck up with some configuration, some issues, you can always email Ravi or Satish. They will be coordinating with you. Okay, or you can wait till the next session where we always discuss the previous sessions, or we'll have a recap of the previous session and then we'll continue with new topics. Okay. Okay, so for today, I will stop it here. We'll continue tomorrow with some more topics. Like tomorrow, we'll be covering the methodologies that we use in SuccessFactors. The certification, we'll talk about certification, we'll talk about deltas, or we'll talk about learning hub. Okay, we'll stop it here for today and we'll continue tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll have a complete 1 hour of session. Today, because of the hard stop, I'm not continuing a new topic.
Fine.
Okay, yeah. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir.